Okay, everybody, welcome to the second half of our Atlassian ACE group for Leeds. I want to welcome our second speaker for this evening. Adaptivist, for those that don't know, is a very large company and is involved in all sorts of consulting all around the world. Michael is a significantly influential figure in that activity, but he's here tonight to talk I think some of the really interesting things that are happening in the Atlassian space with regard to some of the what do they call it? Teamwork stuff, yes. And ROVO and the AI and the way some of these things integrate together. I'm going to hand over to Michael. Please give him a very warm welcome.
Thank you, Roy, and thank you for everybody for coming tonight, this evening. I apologise if my voice is a bit squeaky. I've had a bit of a cold, so apologies there. So as Roy says, I've been with Adaptivist now about 2 years, and I tried to retire before I started with these folks. And you know what? It's an absolute privilege and honour to be with them. It's a unicorn company, and you've got good people like Abby and Jack and the team, and it's amazing. And do you know what? I'm having fun. And it's so nice to come here tonight. I used to live in Pontefract, or just down near Pontefract, until a few weeks ago, and then we've moved to Hereford. So I've just done 4 hours to get here to be with you this evening, to support Roy and Abby. But I'm grateful that you've all turned up this evening. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a bit of what we call an AMA, Ask Me Anything, about the Atlassian ecosystem. We have here Svenja Lorentzen, who works for me. No, I work for her. She's amazing. Anything about Confluence, Notion, teamwork, a font of knowledge. And the reason why I'm going to show you this Loom video is because she's going to put it across to you far better than I can ever do. And also, it's a career boost for her, because I really want to get Svenja out there, because she really knows her stuff when it comes to AI and Confluence. So it's only a few minutes is this video, but it really gives you a feeling. But more important, the passion that she's got for the Atlassian ecosystem. So hopefully I'll start this nicely and you can hear it. And by the way, she lives in Berlin in Germany.
Hi, my name is Svenja, and today
apologies.
I will tell you some interesting
I've got to do the
facts about Atlassian
sound. Let's try it.
Atlassian's Teamwork Collection. So grab your favorite drink and let's talk for a couple of minutes. Remember when Atlassian introduced collections at Team 25? They have made a big splash with the introduction of Teamwork Collection, and trust me, it's an amazing collection for anyone who loves seamless collaboration. They have taken their system of work philosophy and turned it into a powerhouse of integrated apps. Basically, it's like getting an all-star team of apps working together seamlessly for your organization. So what's inside that powerful bundle? Let's have a look. Atlassian's Teamwork Collection is a curated set of apps working together in perfect harmony to boost your team's productivity and communication. So first up, we have Jira, which is your go-to app for planning and tracking work. Then there is Confluence, where all your team's knowledge and collaboration come into one place. We have Loom in the mix for bringing video communication right into the heart of your projects or knowledge articles. And last but not least, we have ROVO agents acting like your virtual teammates to supercharge workflows and information flow 24/7. These apps are being bought through a single SKU, and therefore it is not necessary to buy them individually anymore. And here's how the apps work together. Within the Atlassian apps, you can use Loom to record videos, and if you need to update your team on a project, record it, post it to Confluence, and with a little added information and link to your Jira task, everyone can be informed at their own convenience. Need to find a crucial piece of information? Well, AI and ROVO got you covered, searching across all your apps instantly. No more wasted time, no more frustration, and answers right at your fingertips. The Teamwork Collection is really about breaking down silos. And the coolest part, the Teamwork Collection is powered by Atlassian's cloud platform, utilizing the Teamwork Graph to unlock data-driven insights and the full potential of AI. As the tools and the teams engage, the Teamwork Graph dynamically creates connection, delivering contextual insights and increasing relevant outcomes. This means, in the end, better decision-making, reduced silos, and informed data-driven strategies for your projects. So the Teamwork Collection is really your all-in bundle for teamwork. And in addition, the bundle of the app is cheaper than buying the apps individually. So if you are someone who loves seeing teams thrive and who wants to bring effective teamwork to the next level, the Teamwork Collection is designed to make your life a whole lot easier, smoother, and more connected. Say goodbye to ineffective communication and hello to unified work experience. If you want to learn more, check out our website or get in touch with us. Bye for now, and until next time.
Thank you, Svenja. So eloquent, far better than I'll ever do. And they have, I believe, a future leader in tech. She's amazing, and she's put it across far better than I'll ever do. So before I go on to the next stage, has anybody got any questions about the Teamwork Collection from an Ask Me Anything point of view? Because what I'm going to do after you've asked your questions, I'll actually show you some of the ROVO in action. Very simple one. Do we all write user stories here? Yeah? And we hate it, don't we? Because we either use the invest criteria or there's something structured and we always forget to do acceptance criteria, definition of done, put the proper scope. Yeah, well, I'm going to show you how ROVO can help you and aid you and effectively go through all your user stories, rewrite them for you, and give you the acceptance criteria and the scope and how it should be taken forward. And it's amazing what it can do. And I've shown it a few people recently, and it's new on the market. A little button that's in there, yeah, and it speeds up everything. And I'm going to show you one live, and I'm going to show you one also with a client as well of ours, a German client, yeah, and how it's being used. So it's calibrated, yeah? So we'll do that. So has anybody got any questions at the moment that you'd like to explore around the Teamwork Collection?
I've got a question.
Yes.
If you look on the pricing for, you know, the website at the moment does not talk about Teamwork Collection.
It doesn't, no, not at the moment. So we've got Teams 25 in October. We had Teams 20, there's two Teams 25. There's one in San Francisco every year, and then there's now the one that's in Europe that's in its second year, which is this year, obviously, in October. And the reason for them coming over to Europe is the distance. It's so that people can actually get access to it. It's a fantastic event. I was at the inaugural one last year, and crikey, I was absolutely shattered at the end of it. It's a big hall, everybody comes together, but it's a great place to really find out how the ecosystem not only works in the Atlassian ecosystem, but also GitLab, Monday.com, ServiceNow, yeah? So all comes together, and there's so many people there that just want to talk, that just want to give the information. This is not a sales pitch. This is about people coming to you to say, look, you can use it, and it's easy to use. So, any further questions? Oh, the pricing, my apologies.
Well, I'm going to say, so presumably it's not quite released yet or something?
Not quite released at the moment, but it will be. And Atlassian is known for its imaginative pricing, and I'm under NDA at the moment, but there is, let's just say, a better way of pricing that's coming through forward in the latter half of the year. I don't think I can say too much on that one, can I, Abby? No, can't. But it's going to be better, let's just put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean by better way pricing?
Well, at the moment, with the Atlassian pricing, if you have, without going in too much of it, do you know when the leading question just takes you there? Let's say, so we all know that when you go on the marketplace, if you put an app into Atlassian, it will say for 10 users or it will say for a number of users. So if you download something for, let's say for portfolio management or risk, and you find a nice little app and it's 50p per person per month, and you've got 100 people, and then you've got 1,000 people, you go, this is prohibitive because 1,000 people are not using that app. Let's just say that's going to be sympathetically looked at. Wink. If you go to other marketplaces, then you can look at it and going, why am I paying this amount of money when I can go somewhere else? So they're looking at it now and bringing it into harmony. Yeah.
On the video, I might have misheard in the middle because of what was said at the end. Did you say some of them won't be sold separately when this goes live, or?
So there's different tiers, as you know. There's enterprise and standard and everything. I'm not a licensing expert, being absolutely truthful. Safe space, transparency. That's what we do when we're doing Agile. Yes. Yeah, absolutely safe space. But I believe what they're going to do is bring down where you had to buy enterprise for a number of the apps. It's now lower down, lower tiers that you'll be able to get it at. But there's also, if memory serves correctly, if you're a high user, there's a thing called One Atlassian, where you can create a sandpit and just play around with everything for 90 days. Yeah, just sandpit it.
Yeah. If we're on the subject of moaning about licensing.
Don't you drag me down that road.
I do honestly think the missing thing, so it's quite easy to collaborate with Confluence because there's these guest accounts and things like that. But collaborating with, for us, collaborating with customers using Jira is tricky.
Yeah.
Because of the licensing issues. Yeah. Should be a fix. You can use your influence there, Michael, any way that you can.
I'm too far down the pecking order. Yeah. This is a live Jira that I use with my folks, and I've just put it together. And we have here a card or an issue. I don't know if you can see that very well. Apologies for the sizing because the screen's not very big. Oh, my apologies.
So I learned this from Black Box Thinking. I'm in a team, and I just want to go into the nitty-gritty of the teamwork stuff. So I'm in a team. I know that there's something about this thing that is a bit gnarly, and what I don't say is AI going to, or the new tool going to explicitly get that if it's not written down on the ticket. I don't say because I know there's a problem. My manager is in the team, and it changes the estimation of what we're talking about.
It's a good question. And I can answer it, but I've got to give you a bit of a question back potentially, right? So one of I would say the major users of using Jira would be for testing, development and testing, and tracking bugs or defects, yeah? And if you've got a defect team, you normally have a defect manager and you triage the defects and prioritize them and ready for release, yeah? The best point that you can start to use it, as long as it's the old adage, as long as the data's good, then you'll get the result with AI, because AI is still maturing, yeah? And so a real case that I'll give you is, you have, say you're using X-Ray or Zephyr in Jira, and you've got loads of test cases, and then you've got loads of defects, bugs, and you're going, as the defect manager or the triaging team, saying, which is the best team for this? Who's got the time as well? Which best team would be the best to solve this defect? You can ask AI, as long as you've trained it correctly and the agent, then you just ask it that question. Instead of you asking the question in the triage team, what you could say is, which is the best team? And it'll pick A, B, C, D, and you as the team can go, do you know what? Yeah, let's give it to team D. I think they're going to be ready for it. That's a good use case that you could use it for, yeah? Another one would be requirements traceability, the old V model, yeah? So you're looking to ensure that your requirements are mapped to what the client has asked for or what your boss has asked for. Now, if you're in a highly regulated organization, I'm going to use health. Here we are in Leeds, NHS Digital. Yeah, big health team, but it's all about patient risk. You need to make sure that what you're releasing is fit for purpose and doesn't kill any of us lot, right? Because at the end of the day, that's what you want. You want the patient journey to be great. By the way, my background's health anyway, just to be transparent. Yeah, and I would, and I did use when I was, let's just say, doing something in the past and looking at how we can ensure that that patient safety was right. I used Jira and the start of AI to make sure that the requirements and what was developed mapped to the clinical side of things. Yeah, and it did it for us. And that's a good use case, really, because you've got that safety and the compliance. So you can map your requirements directly. And I'll just go off piece here, because I'll give you another really good example from requirements traceability. Compliance. Compliance changes. The government changes what you have to be compliant with. Things move, don't they? They alter. Now, wouldn't it be great to have, you're doing your SDLC, you're doing your software or your product, yeah? You've mapped it to the requirements, you've done the release, and you've released it into production. But Parliament changes the compliance or the regulation, yeah? But you don't know about it because that's all about research and things like that, right? What if the AI and the agent has been set that as soon as something new, compliance-wise, is published, it rewrites the requirements for you and it automatically flags it to you and say, in your next release, you need to make sure that you're compliant. That would be a good use case.
Well, I can tell you, so we're currently just about to start the FCA sandbox, AI sandbox, and it's exactly that. So in terms of, so we have a client that is involved in retail credit compliance,
yep.
And financial promotions is a particular thing. So buy one, get one free, all sorts of, other things, but the regulations change quite regularly. And so the sandbox project is all about tracking the compliance and basically comparing the compliance with the functionality that currently exists, but it's part of it anyway, at least. And then, either having the model do some of the checks, or if the model isn't properly identifying non-compliant things, triggering work to fix it.
And that's what Jira will do going forward.
Yeah.
Gentleman here, Mike?
Yeah, see, 30 odd years in investment banking, now in the civil service, so I've gone back to quill pens and candles. I worked on quite a few of the MIFID programs over the years. Just to the point you just made is, you look at MIFID 1 and it took about 10 years to embed. MIFID 2 came along, it took 3 full years to deploy, and it's now in that embedding stage. They're already talking about MIFID 3. Going to your lot, is actually horizon thing for compliance. When you put on risk people, that horizon scanning is vital to forward plan and measure against what you've deployed previously.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll give you.
And compliance, I think, is a fantastic case study because use case because compliance is an overhead for everybody. Nobody wants to do compliance work, so it has to be as cheap as possible.
And it's boring.
Well, it has to be as cheap as possible as well.
Yeah. But I'll give you another example. GDPR. As we know, with the regulation, global, if you're a global company, 4% of, I think it's raising actually, of your profits, if you do something wrong and you get sued and everything, well, why not have one of your AI agents ensuring that your data is compliant with the latest GDPR acts, the Data Act and things like that? Because different countries, even though we follow GDPR still and the Data Protection Act, Europe is going off on one and we're doing our own. So you could have it check that. Yeah. I'm conscious of time, just quickly show you this. So this is escalation management. I wrote a user story and it's something that we're putting together from a governance point of view. And I've put a definition of done, but I've put a description on it. But the guys don't really understand what it's all about, say, because I've not wrote it very well. Well, if you see to the right here, you've got this new button in cloud called Improve Work Item, and it's Atlassian AI, And all I do is click on that and it will say improve the actual description. Click on that and generatively it runs and it does it. And you can do that across all your user stories, yeah? And it's amazing. And you can accept it or discard it. I'll do another one for you just to show, which is, we've got a product here that we call the Cloud Migration Assessment Tool that we're playing around with at the moment that will make transfer from data center or on-prem Jira and migrate into the cloud a lot quicker and a lot seamless, because where we're getting to, or Atlassian is getting to now, is more complex migrations are taking place with scripting and or da. Yeah, so we're actually writing a tool that deals with it. But again, I've wrote a description for it, but it's not very clear. So again, I can just go to that, go to the description, and it rewrites it for me. And as you can see, it says scope, success criteria, and some risks and dependencies that are in there, and some other information. It's as quick as that.
You know what makes me worried about this is the fact that, for example, let's say there was a time a business analyst was writing good user stories. This was a great capability, and someone could gain that. But imagine now, for example, if we had ChatGPT 3, 4, 5. So anyone who has bigger money, they have better access to this AI, which means a lot. So so it's like the capability has come out of people to money. So what it means that, for example, if a startup doesn't have these resources, but they have so many amazing capabilities.
Yeah.
It's just
I can answer that.
inequality.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing stopping you using Grok. It's great. The new Grok and ChatGPT 5, it's 5, but it's far better than ChatGPT 4, and there is a free version of it, as we know. So, use what's already out there. Copilot, Gemini,
But the new and the better versions of AI. So it's like the future will be better in the hands of people who have better AI, which means that people who have more money, right? What about people who don't have? What about different nations that don't have that? This is, it just creates more inequality.
I'll challenge that, because it's how you make your own future. You make your own way of doing things, regardless whether you're poor, rich, middle, whatever. It's how you accept the way you go. If you keep on thinking, and please forgive the way I put this, but that it's inequality, then it will always be inequality. We all come, I'm small, stout, and when I went through school, I was always told I was small and fat and everything. But it made me a better person. So the way I look at life is, great, there's an opportunity. Let's look at it from an opportunity point of view.
We can't say for ourselves. I always say for myself, but I don't say it for others.
Yeah.
I think we have a role to think about others.
We
always
do.
say I can stretch, but I can't say, oh, I don't care about someone who is poor, and you go and make it. So because I think developers and Atlassian, they have a role to make sure that. So I really like what
Availability.
Yeah.
Accessibility.
Accessibility.
Because 15 years ago, I worked on digital divide, and now digital divide is becoming more and more because anyone who has better system. So what you just showed is brilliant, but the fact is that imagine people who don't have that, they don't want to hear that.
But isn't that? I think it depends a little. It's all contextual, is it not? So in the UK at least, using AI is cheaper than people. Now that might not be great in all circumstances, but there's many people in the world have probably never met a doctor, for instance, because doctors are, hey, I can't get a doctor's appointment. Even in the UK, doctors are a finite resource, aren't they?
Yeah, but the question is, it's a fantastic question.
It is a good question.
Hey, we can't say the word philosophical.
We're going to go to the poem afterwards. This is definitely a good one to continue.
Let me go back. Let me go back to the health side of it. And some people don't have access to health as we know it. But now, everything now, especially on these things, it's NHS Digital and it's the NHS app, isn't it?
No, but it doesn't allow. For example, again, I studied digital inequality.
Yeah.
Very familiar.
Yeah.
So there are huge amount of inequalities. So it's like always we include some, we exclude some. So I remember, for example, my GP practice, the NHS have allowed you to go and easily, not easily, but still you could do. But then it's been about half a year that they say no, you have to give a card. and the hybridity actually created more.
So, just for declaring, I'm an ex-dentist. I used to be a dentist, right? And I did anaesthetics, yeah, and then I got into clinical IT, right? And the systems that you are now using in medicine, I was actually the original person that designed those way back in 1980s, yeah. I was part of that team, whole hospital information systems. And what I did was, and I insured, and I was with NHS England only just a few years ago, and every system that I touched, I did exactly what you're saying, the inequality bit. I always made sure that there was a design in there for the older generation especially, who don't have access to these. Inequality in health is a mainstream area that everybody looks at to make sure that everybody's got access to health. That's the bread and butter of the NHS. Everybody has access to health. Some people pay for Bupa and all the rest of it. But ultimately, when a patient came through that door, regardless of your status in life, I would always treat you. Yeah? But it comes down to the people and the person. It's a wonderful question. Can we talk for hours about it?
I'm going to say, and I would argue as well that you know, what we're talking about here is about really trying to make technology teams more effective, and the more effective they are, the better they can adapt to.
I came out of the surgery because I wanted to treat patients differently, which was by using IT. And I was in London on what they call LSP, London Service Provider, and you know digital radiography. I was the program director for that rolled out digital radiography all across London and beyond. Yeah, it was part of that team. And the best thing about that, right, and this is an interesting little facet for you, by using digitization of radiography, we got rid of wet processing of film. So all that ecological side of it, which was developer, salts and everything, all that industry went overnight, yeah? So from an environmental point of view, look at the benefits of that, yeah? AI, which is something I'm looking at now at the moment in the digital world, is how digital radiographs can be read by an AI thing, so that it can be trained and it will spot cancers and everything like that far better than a radiographer. But you still have to have the human element, because you still have to have somebody that will check it. Because regardless of the IT, and I'm being honest with you, I don't trust it if it comes to a patient. I want to make sure that what you're being treated with is accurate, yeah? Because ultimately, I'll get sued, medical legally, you know. So hopefully that's a fantastic question. Thank you for asking it. Anyway.
I think we just have a role. It's like that because I've been academic lead for inclusion, and after 6 years of doing this job for the university, I came to the result that now I'm working on exclusion. Because when we talk about inclusion, we forget that our job is to reduce exclusion. Because
correct.
You know, so I'm one of the people that when generative AI I was promoting that very universities very much. But at the same time, I believe that we have to always remember our job is not to reach inclusion, but to address exclusion. Because there are always people who are excluded.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I got very emotional.
Yeah. And so you should. So you should. Right. Any other questions around this?
Talk to us a little bit about the whole ROVO.
Yep.
I don't know, kind of extensibility agents and so obviously.
So you can use agents. Yeah. There are some. Abby talked about templates. There are ROVO agents that are templated that you can use for automation. Yeah, there's quite a few of them that are canned in there. Or you can use Forge apps that will bring in the ROVO, and that's more developer. And I can't go into, I'm being honest, I can't go into this, too much geeky, yeah, for me, that, right? But you can write a template for ROVO that is suited for you and your business, yeah.
Because it would strike me that that's a direction that things are going to go in, is it?
Do you know what? Yeah. Taking it a stage further, you could write a ROVO engine saying, exclusion, please make sure that people are not excluded. And it would look for that. But that's what AI does. You know that, yeah. Yeah. So look, I'll finish with this because I'm conscious of the time for everybody, and thanks for the debate. It was absolutely wonderful. There is, we're going to have another session in 6 weeks' time. Yeah. Could I ask if you've got any subjects that you'd like us to bring to something like this, that you've got a problem with, that you would like to solve it as a team here with the people? I can bring people into this meeting from Atlassian or from ever, yeah, and we might be able to solve things together, yeah. So please do reach out to Royd and the team, yeah, and why not, when we all come together, we can see if we can solve it together as well. If you would find that useful, we'll do that, yeah. But this is your meeting. The ACE meeting is for you, not for people to do a sales pitch, yeah. It's to present to you what we can do with it. And that's why I'm so delighted that you've all come, because you've got an interest. My apologies.
So, if we have got enterprise license of Atlassian, in that case, do we get access to all these apps?
Yeah, you do actually. Yeah, you do. Yeah. In fact, I don't know if it'll come straight on again, but right. So I'm just going to start a new page, and you'll see. So this is ROVO now. Apple with the Apple Intelligence. Yes, really, I love Apple. There you go. This is ROVO, so I can use ROVO and just type it in here, and it's just your normal prompt, so you get access straight to it. And what it will do is, I can write in here. Let's have a look. Got to be careful from a commercial point of view. Okay, let's see. Okay, find me a solution on how. There we go. I'm out of the policy, so it won't go off on it. But that's actually a good thing, because that's showing you security now. So I've defied the policy. Yeah, that's on there. Right. Because I've got to be careful.
As you mentioned, in the existing tickets, we can directly use this for automating.
Yeah, it should be there in cloud. Have a look. If it's not there, speak to your admin, Jira admin, and just try to understand why that button is not there. Yeah, could be the licensing tier. But that one that I showed you there was Atlassian AI. Yeah.
I mean, I kind of think that's a useful discussion in the future, really, is obviously, lots of big vendors are currently, launching all sorts of AI products, but obviously the AI embedded in the Atlassian tools is uniquely valuable to tech teams because of all the history of using those for many years now. And I use it all the time, and I know there's been instances with I'll tell you an instance that's really, it's like, oh, thank God for that. Tickets, or typically often they've been epics or things where there's been a long-running dialogue in the comments sometimes with customers, all sorts of rambling on about stuff, and it's like, I just want to know where this is at now. Oh, yeah. And actually getting a summary, clicking a button to get a summary of like a, metre and a half long of comments has been really
Does anybody
useful.
use Slack in here?
Yes.
Yeah. It's like an email system, for want of a word, but you get people that write a long, and you get past the second paragraph and you go, I can't read all that. What? It's a story. Yeah. Slack has just brought AI for that as well, where you can literally, top right, click on the button and it'll just do the summary and everything. TLDR, as you call it.
But I would say, I think that there's a long way to go yet in terms of people building, small tools which you can link together quite easily, and I think there's just lots of great, innovative, creative things that can come out of this, and it'll be
Final
good
question, go on,
yeah.
Mike.
I was just thinking in terms of what you're saying about the AI and giving you a sort of risk profile and success criteria and acceptance criteria. Have you got any sort of early indications? Because obviously, converting user stories from a business perspective into that acceptance criteria. If those something you've got maybe for next time is actually getting that acceptance, because I think that business readiness one is also always the key.
You've got me again.
Over the line, right?
So your acceptance criteria, and I'll just cover this off, should really map to your requirements traceability. Yeah, because that's your test case. If you've got an acceptance criteria fully well built, that should really be writing your script for your test case. Yeah, and if you've got your test pyramid correct, then you're fine. I could give you an example, but it's
I think because business is not that adept at writing test cases
No.
against the other
Where I would say,
Says the BA. Says the BA.
But no, I'm not a BA.
where I would say it
Oh,
can
was.
really help. Where I would say all this can really help from an agile point of view is is reducing lead time. So between when the clock starts ticking, so a business stakeholder has said we've got this problem. To actually, the time when you finally deliver a feature that might solve it. Now, there's a whole, there's a bit in the middle where you grinded out code and, I don't know, it can maybe help a little bit with that. But I think the lowest hanging fruit is all, at the start of that process where, okay, we could solve this in 3 or 4, 5 or 6 different ways maybe. And, first of all, you've got to get a team to kind of even ideate enough to potentially pull out all those different options and throw away the bad ideas and combine the ones that are good, and then finally, and possibly even build some early code to show stakeholders. So when you look at the whole lead time, I think there's quite a lot
Compression.
so you could do that in an old-fashioned way, let's say, but it involves getting a lot of people into a room quite regularly and.
Because it always
And that's
comes
quite
up
tricky.
during testing. Like,
I know.
It's not done what you said it's done. But
I know. But he's led me on now. Any DevOps engineers, platforms engineers in here? Right. Have you Azure, AWS, GCP? AWS, yeah. Pipelines? Use AI to write your pipelines. Yeah. Azure does it. And so does, you can do your pipelines as well in the Atlassian ecosystem. Use ROVO, write your pipelines. Yeah. I could show you some pipelines I've written and I don't even know how to write pipelines. It does it. I've set up subscriptions in Azure DevOps using AI, using ChatGPT.
Anyway, listen,
Right.
I'm
Yeah, let's leave
conscious
it.
of time.
Yep.
And I know people are rushing out to catch trains and things.
Yep.
I'm really pleased everybody's come along. It's really great to have Michael here. I would love to hear from anybody. If anybody is, what I know from these kind of groups and what's really good is war stories. People want to, if there's anybody want to come and speak about anything, it can be stuff that they've done that was really good. It can be stuff that they've done that has turned out not so good. But those are some of those things, and we can combine that with some, other expert speakers. That's going to be fantastic.
And if
So
you're
please-
interested in, sorry,
Sorry,
Roy,
go on.
if you're interested in DevOps, I love DevOps, to be honest with you. It is a passion of mine. I can bring some of the top DevOps people in the country to the next meeting if you want to. Matt Saunders, an amazing guy, was CTO over at Tide, Tide Bank and everything, yeah. He's our DevOps guy. So we can link that into the Atlassian ecosystem as well using GitLab or GitHub, yeah, and how you interface that along the APIs. Sorry,
Yeah.
Roy.
Well, no, just going to say, just to wrap up. I mean, I genuinely feel that tooling like this is more important now than it ever was because of remote teams and collecting data, trying to move to a more quantitative way of making decisions and managing teams, as well as the fact that this is all mixed in with kind of the innovation that AI brings and everything. So, give it some thought. Definitely get in touch. Give Michael a nice round of applause, and thank you very much for coming.
So, retrospective, quick retrospective. Was that useful? Was that okay? What you wanted? Yep, great. Thumbs up, as they say. When you do your thumbs up, yep, great.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.